Hello. This is the very first episode of Story Not Story, in which my wife China and I, Craig, tell each other bedtime stories.
Off the top of our heads.
Totally planned out.
No.
Not at all. Hey.
Hey.
China.
Yeah.
My wife.
That's me.
Do you want to tell me a story?
Yeah. Am I going first?
Well, I've just decided now that you are.
All right. I'm glad that this was a discussion between the two of us where we came to a mutual decision.
Just now.
Yeah.
When I decided.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me a story. And can you tell me a story that involves a pillow or pillows?
A pillow or pillows?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the extent of my imagination. We are laying on pillows, so I thought, hey, pillows.
Pillows, that's an object that exists in the world.
It is. Get to the storytelling already.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta think about it, okay?
Fine.
Okay. Once upon a time...
I'm interested.
That's great.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Theodore.
Okay.
And he...
Is he related to the chipmunks at all?
No, he's a human person.
Okay.
Same name.
Uh-huh.
But it's really last names that link families, not first names.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So...
I thought maybe... Never mind. Go on.
So, Theodore loved bedtime. He loved the ritual of getting ready for bed and cuddling up in bed and, reading a book and maybe having a cup of tea. And this kid loved sleeping and bed.
Did he brush his teeth before he went to bed? Because that's part of the ritual.
Well, yeah, obviously he brushed his teeth. You don't have to say every single step that happened.
Oh, well, but dental hygiene's important.
It's very important. You are a little obsessed with that.
I am. Yeah.
So
you don't floss enough.
But you floss too much.
That's not true.
But most of all, what Theodore loved was pillows. He had pillows of all shapes and sizes, all colors and patterns and materials, and he just had a bed, but his bed was just covered in layer upon layer of fluffy, cozy pillows. And he would climb, at night, he got ready for bed and he'd grab his book and he would climb into the middle of this giant pile of cushy, cozy pillows, and curl up and burrow in and go to sleep.
What kind of royalty was Theodore a part of? Why does he have all of these pillows? How can he afford them?
His parents are, his mom's a doctor, and his dad. Well, his dad is just an artist, but his mom's like a doctor. So
his mom supports the family because artists, they don't make no money.
Well, his dad doesn't really make any money because he's not selling his work. He's just in it. He's just really passionate about his art.
So he's a bad artist.
No. He's a good artist. He's just he's not in it for the money.
He's niche.
He'll give away his art to his friends and family.
Oh, so he's a bad businessman.
And all the while, Theodore's mom is working, 24 hours on call at the hospital.
So these pillows are coming from sweet, sweet doctor money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The American healthcare system is responsible. I don't know if Theodore is American, but I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, she's not buying like the most expensive pillows ever.
Okay.
Some kids collect stamps, some kids collect bugs, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why I assumed that these were expensive pillows, but
he's just got a lot of them.
It just seems like I'm just picturing a kid frolicking across this regal bed filled with pillows.
It's pretty regal bed, but it's only because it's a quantity of pillows.
Okay.
Can I get to the rest of the
story? Okay, moving on.
So anyway, this kid loves pillows and he loves bedtime, and it's awesome. And his parents are super happy because he always sleeps through the night, and he has since he was 3 days old. And they are always well rested, and everything's great. So anyway, one day, Theodore goes to school, and in the middle of the day, he gets called to the office.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, your mom's on the phone. She has something to tell you. And he gets on the phone, and his mom's like, Theodore, I'm so sorry, but we thought that we might have bed bugs in the house.
Oh.
And we had to get rid of all your pillows.
Oh, my God.
Every last stitch of a pillow in that house is all gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
I didn't know this was a tragedy.
yeah. Well, it gets better, probably. I think. Right. I hope so.
All right.
So, anyway, that day, Theodore goes home after school and walks into his room, and there's I don't really know how it goes getting rid of bed bugs. I think it's probably more involved than this, but let's just pretend that like they're all gone.
Oh, okay.
And
that was quick.
And a new mattress is already delivered.
That's good.
Because they had to get rid of everything. But his mom's a doctor, so she can throw some money around and like make stuff happen.
Yeah. Doctors are royalty.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, rich people are.
Yeah. I mean, doctors should be treated well because they keep us healthy.
Yeah, but really, this wasn't because she was a doctor. It's just because she could write a really big check.
Okay, sure.
So anyway, he walks into his bedroom, and there's a brand new mattress and brand new sheets and comforter and everything, and 2 pillows at the top of his full-size bed, which is like normal for everybody, but not for Theodore.
Paltry. That is tiny. That is disgusting.
But Theodore doesn't want to. I mean, he's trying not to be. He doesn't want to be a spoiled kid or anything, and it took him a long time to collect his pillow nest before. So he's like, okay, this is. I'm a very blessed person that I've got this comfortable bed, and I'm in my house and I've got clean stuff.
Well, that's very, very. What a good kid.
Yeah, he's enlightened.
Okay, that's good.
So he, that night he gets ready for bed and he goes through his whole routine. He flosses his teeth. And
good.
Then he brushes them.
Flossing is very important. What a good kid. I like this kid a lot. Yeah. And he's a little too good, if you ask me.
Why? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical.
Well, it's fictional. It's a fictional story.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So then he gets his book and his cup of hot tea, which he doesn't put any sweetener in, so he drinks it after he's brushed his teeth because it's not gonna mess anything up.
What? Jeez. Okay, this is becoming unrealistic. This kid.
I'm drinking tea after I brush my teeth right now.
A kid drinking tea without sweetener?
Yeah.
I didn't even drink tea. I would just drink sugar water.
I would drink tea without sweetener when I was a kid.
I would too. I was exaggerating. I wouldn't drink sugar water, to be honest with you. Hot chocolate, though.
So Theodore grabs his tea and his book, and he climbs in his new bed. And he kind of tries to fluff up his 2 pillows behind him and everything. And he reads for a little bit. And then he sighs.
Oh, no.
And then he goes to sleep.
Okay.
But in a sad way.
Okay.
And he doesn't sleep very well. He tosses and turns.
But did he toss and then his head went off of the pillow, and then it was just not on a pillow?
He's used to being able to burrow in, so he tries to do that in the middle of the night when he's sleeping. But his pillows, he kicks them off the bed by accident, and then he wakes up with no pillows.
Oh no!
And it's real bad.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next day.
Yeah.
No, weeks pass.
Oh, weeks pass. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forgot. I understand.
Yeah. And at the end of every week, Theodore's mom takes him to the store and he gets a new pillow to start building his collection back up because she knows how important it is to him.
Oh.
Yeah. And so things are getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting a little cozier, a little cushier.
That's good.
A little floofier.
Theodore's pillow situation is...
That's the name of this story.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Pillow situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Theodore's pillow situation.
Theodore's pillow situation.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good... That should be our band name when we form a band.
Okay.
Okay. Theodore's pillow situation.
That's actually a really
That's
good
a really
band.
good band. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so weeks pass and he gets a new pillow every week. And then, it is Christmas time.
Oh.
And he's got like 7 pillows now.
Mm-hmm.
Because this all started, I guess, 7 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and
obviously.
the thing that happens is what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Which is...
What happens?
Oh, okay. So, Christmas morning, he wakes up and he goes downstairs and he sees a bunch of presents under the tree of all shapes and sizes, but they're like shaped, like he can tell what they are.
Oh.
Like one of them kind of looks like bicycle.
Yeah, it'd be really hard to wrap a bicycle and it not look like a bicycle.
One of them kind of looks like a guitar, maybe.
Sure.
And et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And then so he starts opening his Christmas presents and he like unwraps the guitar. Yeah. But it's not really a guitar.
What?
It's pillows shaped like a guitar to trick him because they're tricky parents.
What? Did M. Night Shyamalan write this story?
He did.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't hear that. What? He did? Okay. Why are you making that sound after you say did?
Did.
Okay.
Okay. I wrote it.
Is that the end of the story? Is it?
Well, he unwraps the rest of his presents and it's all pillows. But he's like really happy about it. Most kids would be pissed about that. But he's like, oh my God, I got so many pillows. And he puts them all in his bed and he climbs in and then he lives there for the rest of his life in those pillows. And
so it's a really sad ending.
No, but he's really happy about it. Nobody else is.
Whoa. How much longer does he live?
I don't know, like 4 years or something.
Wow.
40 years.
What a turn of events.
400
Either way,
years.
it's sad. It's a man living in his pillows.
But he is happy.
Oh, is he though?
Well, he doesn't know any better because he never goes outside.
Oh, no. That just took a really dark turn.
He has Netflix.
And it's a Christmas story, too.
I know.
And it took such a dark turn. Or is it over? Is this horror over?
It's over.
Okay. Wow. It was going so well. You got pillows.
Can I take back the ending?
No, you can't. That's the story. Oh my God, that is a tragedy. I think that's a morality tale.
Yeah.
Kids,
don't get too many pillows.
Yeah. Be happy with 2 pillows.
Yeah.
Greedy little brats. Anyway.
Okay. Well, you need to bring us back up from that low point.
No, I will do whatever I do.
Oh no.
Is it my turn to tell a story?
Well, I think so. I'm done, right?
Yeah, and I guess there's no one. I guess Mitzi, our dog, could tell.
No, she's asleep.
She's asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me a story that involves a Swiss Army knife?
A Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just so happen to know a story that involves a Swiss Army knife.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. For real. My father used to tell this story.
No, he didn't.
Well, so there was a man.
Uh-huh. I'm following.
Yeah. His name was Peter.
Sure.
And
that's a man's name.
Yeah, he lived in Siberia.
Really?
Yes.
It's cold.
Yes. He was 33 years old, and he lived in a hut in Siberia. He was originally from Colorado, so he lived in this. How did he find himself in a hut in Siberia? That's a story for a different day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he lived there for 10 years, and
wait, since he was 23 or from 33 on 10 more years?
Since he was 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering how this 23-year-old ended up moving to Siberia, but we don't have to get into it.
You know what? Let's get into it.
Okay.
So he went to college at what's the university in Colorado? I don't remember.
Yeah, that one.
The University of Colorado.
Let's call it that.
Yeah, Denver U, if you will.
DU?
No, Boulder. He went to Boulder.
Sure.
He obviously he went to Boulder. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting bits of the story, but he went to Boulder, Colorado.
Great.
College. And so he had an opportunity to study overseas when he was around 22.
What's he studying?
English.
Okay.
Yeah. He was studying.
And he went to Russia to study English?
No, he didn't go to Russia.
Okay.
No, he went over to England.
Okay, great. Okay.
The originators of English. He went over to England where they invented English. You gotta go back to the source, right?
Right.
So
that's just responsible.
He was studying in London, and this man, he was walking down Brick Lane in London,
mm-hmm.
and this man's like, "Hey, Sonny, come here. I got something for you." And he was like, "No. This seems a little weird." But just so happens he was really bored, so he decided, you know what? It's my day off. It's Saturday. Peter said to himself, and so he went over to see what this man had. Peter also happened to have a knife on him, so he had a weapon on him.
What variety of knife?
Just a regular knife.
Oh.
Because he that's another story. He had a friend. He has a friend who is really was perfecting the art of cooking steak. And he wanted him to come join him for a meal for steak to have steak with him at his house, but he only had one knife, so he had to bring his own knife. So that's why he was carrying a knife.
Okay.
He had to have a steak knife.
Just a steak knife.
Yeah, it was but no, it was bigger than a steak knife. It was just a knife.
Okay.
But he had a knife on him, so he's like, well, I have a knife on me, so if this guy tries anything,
I'll knife him.
I'll knife him. Exactly.
Okay.
So
he goes over to the guy.
He goes over to the guy, and the guy's like, "Hey, I noticed that bulge in your pants there. Is that a knife?" and he pulls out the knife. "Yes, it is, buddy." He's like, "Oh, good. I'm glad it's not what I thought it was." And then he said, "Hey, listen, I got a better knife for you."
Whoa.
Yeah. And so he pulls out this little contraption. And he pulls out like a corkscrew and a screwdriver all in one. It's
what?
like and like a little knife and a big knife.
This sounds like a miracle.
It's a Swiss Army knife.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And he shows it to him, and he's like, "Hey, I'll make a trade with you." And he's like, "What? This is a really sharp knife. This is a good knife. I bought it down the street at Knife Co. Brick Lane Knife Co." And he's like, no. But look at this. You have all these other knives. You have all this stuff. It's like, why would I trade a stranger? And he said, because you really want to? And he's like, yeah, you're right, I do. And so he traded with him.
For the Swiss Army knife.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I have one more question, and then we can get back to how this guy goes to Siberia.
Okay.
Was the guy on the street always going to offer him the Swiss Army knife, or did he only choose to offer him the Swiss Army knife once he realized that Peter had a knife on him?
No. He thought, he was hoping that the bulge in his pocket was a knife.
Okay. As one does.
Yeah.
When they see a bulge.
When he saw him originally.
Okay, great.
So
And he was right.
He was right, turns out.
Awesome.
I mean, but he had other ideas what it could be. That bulge. But
sure.
But
like an apple or something.
Yeah. An apple or a pile of leaves in his pocket, you know, as one. Or a poop bag. We give Mitzi walks, and we carry poop bags with us in our pockets. But it was a knife.
It was a knife.
And so anyway, he makes the trade, and he gets the Swiss Army knife.
Awesome. Making his life better.
Yes. And the other guy takes the regular knife and vanishes.
Into thin air?
Well, he may have. But he did disappear pretty quickly, kind of like Batman disappears. Like Peter turned around and he's pulling out the knife, and he was going to turn back and ask him a question like, where did he get the Swiss Army knife, and then he was gone.
Oh no!
Kind of like Batman.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he walks away with the Swiss Army knife, and goes about his life for the next year or so. And turns out, Swiss Army knife, cursed.
No, it's not.
It's cursed.
What?
Yeah, super cursed.
This is not a happy story.
What do you mean it's not a happy story?
Well, curses aren't good.
We haven't even gotten to the end yet.
Okay.
So, Peter ended up failing out of English.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, he just all of a sudden started speaking Russian.
No.
He just starts speaking Russian.
Like he didn't even know English anymore?
He didn't even know Russian before.
Wow.
And suddenly he's speaking Russian.
That's a wicked curse.
Yeah, he's like babushka this and niet that. I think niet's Russian and not German. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, is it? I don't know. That's not relevant to this story.
No.
But he's suddenly speaking Russian. He doesn't know where that's coming from. And so one night, he's sleeping, dreaming Russian dreams, even though he's never been to Russia. The dude suddenly appears. The dude who sold him or traded him for the Swiss Army knife suddenly appears in the room, and he says, "You must go to Siberia. You now possess the curse of the Swiss Army knife."
But Peter doesn't know what he's saying because he doesn't speak English anymore.
I know, and that's a big problem. But luckily, Peter was recording it on his phone, and then he translated it later on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. And so he has to go to Russia to unlock the curse. He has to go to Siberia. And the guy also says that it's the curse that was passed on to him, and he passed it on to Peter because he didn't like the curse.
Sure.
Peter could technically pass it on to somebody else if he wanted to. He says that. He says, "Hey, you could technically pass it on to someone else if you want to be a jerk, like I am." Mm-hmm. And Peter's like, "You know what? What would John Denver do?" is what he says to himself. Because John Denver is a famous Coloradian.
So he still knows that he's from Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows all the stuff that he knew just now in Russian instead of English.
Yeah, he didn't say what would John Denver do in English. He said it to himself in Russian.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But he remembers it.
That's going to be very, very confusing for this guy.
No, I mean, he understands Russian very fluently, so he's fine.
Well, no. Not confusing in terms of the language, just confusing in terms of, like, being cognizant of the fact that you used to be an English-speaking American from Colorado, and now you're exclusively Russian-speaking American from Colorado.
Right.
Like, that's got to change a lot of things about just how you perceive yourself. And,
yeah,
like,
I mean...
you can't even talk to your family
Well,
anymore.
I think the most difficult thing for him was that he was in London, and most people didn't speak Russian in London. It was really frustrating.
Yeah.
He was able to get minstrels.
That's good.
Chocolate candies that are super delicious.
Yeah.
He learned how to say it, minstrels.
Yeah, that's probably the same.
It might be.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Phew.
Anyway.
So he goes to Siberia.
Yeah, he decides John Denver wouldn't pass along the curse because John Denver, kind of a folk hero in Colorado, and kind of the guy who would do the right thing. At least he thinks. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. Maybe John Denver is a jerk, but he doesn't think so. So he goes to Russia. He has to go. In particular, he has to go to Siberia. There's a tiny, remote, not really known to the rest of the world, village in the middle of Siberia. Mm-hmm. That he has to get to. It takes him a long time. But once he gets to Russia, it's kind of easy because he can speak Russian. So
that's handy.
Yeah. And so he gets to the village, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, you have the curse, don't you? In Russian. This is all in Russian at this point.
I understand.
Yeah. And he's like, yep. Sucks. Although I think your language is great and I would totally respect it, but I have parents at home and I haven't spoken to them in months because they don't know where I am. And they're like, hey, thankfully you made it here because all we needed was that Swiss Army knife because that is the savior of our village. That our rivers have run dry. It's cold here because we haven't gotten that cursed.
That's the reason?
Yeah. That's a whole nother story.
That's the reason why it's cold in Siberia?
Well, it's the reason why it was cold in Siberia.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole other big story behind the Swiss Army knife, which I could tell you in a prequel some other day.
Okay.
But they receive, similar to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when he has the three like egg rock things and he returns them to the village, and then now that the rivers are running again and everything is fine, he gives them the Swiss Army knife. It suddenly gets warm, tropical even.
Whoa.
Like weirdly tropical. Like the latitude shouldn't be that tropical, but it gets tropical in the area around the village. And he saves the village. He can speak English. He listens to some John Denver on his way home to visit his family.
Awesome.
Happy ending.
That is a happy ending. I have one follow-up question.
What? Oh, what's that?
When the story started, he was in Siberia and he was 33. And then we went back in time to when he like got cursed at like 23.
Oh yeah, he was
in London. So did this whole thing last 10 years? Or did he, like, fix the curse and go home and visit his family, but then come back to Siberia?
Yeah, he went back 10 years later to visit the village.
Oh, okay.
And then he decided to stay there because it was awesome and tropical.
Did he stop being able to speak Russian?
Well, he learned it again.
Oh, that's good.
On his own.
Oh, that's nice.
Being the linguist that he is.
Sure, yeah, because he studied English before.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Happy ending.
Yeah, that was a pretty happy ending.
Wasn't it?
It was better than living in pillows for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Well, Theodore was happy.
Well, I'm very glad that he was incorrectly happy.
Lots of times people like things that are bad for them.
Oh, almost always.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like minstrels. They're bad for you, but they're really delicious.
Yeah, they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I hope you enjoyed our bedtime stories. You may have heard them before because they were so classic.
Yeah.
But
mine was written by who were those brothers? The Grimm.
The Brothers Grimm?
Yeah, those
They
ones.
wrote that? Yeah, I guess it's
pretty creepy.
It's pretty grim.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah.
Mine was written by Yakov Smirnoff.
Of the Smirnoff Ice?
No, he was a comedian,
Oh.
a Russian comedian.
Mm.
Actually, I'm not sure if I'm combining the type of vodka and the comedian, or if his name was actually Yakov Smirnoff. I think his name was Yakov Smirnoff.
Okay.
It's hard, I don't remember where I heard the story, but I know it was written by that guy.
Yeah.
So
also, that was just a lie.
What was?
You made that story up right now.
What are you talking about?
That's the whole point of this show.
The whole point of this show is that we regale classic stories.
No.
Classic.
No.
Stories from our past that we've heard growing up.
No.
Exactly.
No.
So I hope you enjoyed listening to our Story Not Story with Craig and China. Please tell our stories to everyone you see. It's going to take a while because they're kind of long.
Yeah.
But, those are your instructions. I hope you learned something. I hope you feel like a better person.
I hope you feel like a butter person. Good night.
Good night.